can you give a broad sense of what you are currently working on?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it will be great if you can give us a flavor of some successful AI implementations as well as not so successful ones as well.
sure, sure. So yeah, I mean, probably it makes sense to kind of give a quick context to what I'm doing. As you, I think, in your introduction mentioned, I've had a chance to kind of build conversational experiences or journeys for multiple domains. My own startup, we were mostly in the lead generation space. The work that we kind of did for NatWest was more in terms of regulatory compliance information, slightly in the HR space. What I'm currently doing in Stepstone or Total Jobs is we are in the job tech space. So we are essentially think of as a marketplace where enterprises advertise their jobs and candidates come and find their jobs. And one of the reasons why, and this I think is important as a learning for all AI practitioners, is we took a step back and we said, why do we need AI? Or are we fine with what we've got, or what is the need? What is the pain point that is being met? And when we took a step back, the realization is that if you look from a job hunter's point of view, it's a fairly emotional journey, right? It's very stressful. More often than not, you will basically you'll keep applying and then you will not get selected. It's that one in X number of times that you get selected. So it's a fairly stressful job. It's a very lonely activity, and from our perspective, the more you get to know the user, the better you can assist in terms of the search. So it's not just that I'm looking for a bottle of Coke. It's not a standard box standard piece. Every individual has a different set of requirement. And so that's where we actually started off with. We did a human to human experiment in terms of human chat, but we said, okay, does conversation work? Because if you think of it, and this is actually the power of conversational AI, you can build in the emotion in the product. If you take a step back, it's a very intuitive thing. You will not say, oh, is this form empathetic? Is this form helpful? But you can, when we measure our conversations, we measure saying, is this conversation empathetic? Is it natural? So we can. So what to circle back to your question, we started with a human to human chat. Then we actually were working with the KNN models, now obviously LLMs. But we are in the process of building the conversational experience for our job seekers, and obviously the recruiters as well, where we can first of all, build in the emotion. So be that guide, be that trusted mentor where there's an emotional investment even from the user. But also, the moment you're having a conversation, it leads to better data. And if this works when for the complex scenario. So if it's a standard piece where you can give me 3 data points and I can give you a great search result, you don't need a conversation. But if it turns out that you give me 3 data points and what you see is too generic or too high level, that's where a conversation comes in, because you can say, okay, what did you not like about this? Give me one more data. Are you looking for something more senior? Are you looking for some company you don't want to work in? So you get to have the conversation, and then based on that, you are now able to enhance that experience. So long story short, um, we are, and I think this will probably be true for most enterprises going forward. We are providing this conversational layer using Gen AI and LLM, so that we can understand the user better, and so therefore assist the user better, whilst building in that emotion as well, so that you're almost able to build that relationship and that stickiness. Because the user should want to have a conversation with you. It's not that it's a very functional thing. Now you have the ability to bring in that emotional investment as well. So two key aspects from an enterprise perspective.